With that win earlier today, the Yankees are now officially 6-1, and this is how it went down. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to King's Speech. I'm your host, the King of 161st Street. Like the video if you enjoy it. Comment down below your thoughts on this 6-1 run, and let's get right into it. We talked about Game 1 in my last video. If you didn't see it, go check it out. I talk about Luis Gil's performance and everything I liked about it. There's not much to talk about with Game 2. The team flat out sucked. You're not going to win 162 games. Let's move on. Game 3 was a doozy. And this is where I want to get to my first topic. Aaron Boone's decision making to start the year. Yes, it is only 7 games. His decision making so far has been impeccable. Firstly, sitting Giancarlo Stanton in this game. He has looked awful to start the year. He had that home run in Houston. Good for him. But overall, he has looked like shit. It was time to give him a rest. Giving Judge time as the DH is going to be key to keeping him healthy. And it's going to probably happen a ton more when Jason Dominguez comes back. Doing that in this game, knowing how pivotal it is to win these series, I love that decision making from him. I don't know what I think about Trent Grisham just yet. I'm giving him a little bit of time. He has not gotten consistent at bats. Not loving what I'm seeing. But back to Boone's decision making. How he handled the bullpen today was awesome. The way he bounced from Clay Holmes to Ferguson, and I know a lot of people were very confused. Why did you go with Holmes to start the inning? Well, the matchup was so much better to start that inning. Holmes gets that out, and then Jace Peterson comes up, is a lefty. He's going to have lefty, rookie, lefty coming up. So obviously at that point, you bring in Caleb fucking Ferguson. These are decisions he wasn't making last year. He would have stuck with Holmes the whole way through, and it would have fucked us over. Another big decision, which the broadcast was saying was a 50-50 decision that Aaron Boone quickly made, was walking Gabriel Moreno. Awesome decision making by him. It seemed obvious to me. Listening to the broadcast, you would have thought that Aaron Boone had a lot going on in his mind about it. I thought it was obvious. You go after the team's starting pitcher who has not hit in the major leagues yet. Even though the bases are loaded, you go with the starting pitcher who hasn't hit in the major leagues instead of the top prospect. The broadcast was thinking that it was a 50-50 call. He made the right call. Those are winning plays. He is making winning decisions, letting Loaisiga go multiple innings. The way he has utilized the bullpen this year is absolutely amazing. I just wanted to give him his flowers because I've been hard on him on this channel. To the bullpen has been outstanding. This game in particular, outstanding. Going from Carlos Rodon to Jonathan Loaisiga. Jonathan Loaisiga looked like $1 million. That sinker, nasty. The sinker slider combo is amazing. You have Ian Hamilton. Ian Hamilton's slider. I don't know if that's really a slider, but that pitch is so fucking nasty. You watch that inning over. Tell me where a hitter could have hit a ball. It didn't seem possible. That's how nasty that slider is. MLB Network had the audacity to put us in the lower third of the league in bullpen strength. I don't know how you do that, especially watching these first 7 games. Even though in that one loss, the bullpen did have a hiccup. It was one guy, and that guy is not our main guy. There's a reason why he stayed out there for 50 fucking pitches, because we knew we could waste him on a day we suck. Ian Hamilton looked outstanding. You had Clay Holmes. None of those runs were his fault. Anthony Volpe looking at his defense to start the year, and I thought he was getting so much more mature. That play was a mistake. You cannot double clutch. That's the shit IKF did back in 22. That costed us, especially in the playoffs. You cannot double clutch there. And then he had to rush, he threw it into the base path, and then you see what happened. I hope Geraldo Perdomo is okay. None of those runs were his fault. And then Caleb Ferguson came in and absolutely shut the door on anything they were doing. Did he get gifted a call against the pitcher? Yes. But overall, amazing performance in this game. Bullpen has been outstanding. Hoping that continues. We finally get a day off tomorrow. So the bullpen is going to get some much needed rest. Hopefully they will be refreshed going into the Toronto series. But now talking about the offense, the thing that everyone wants to talk about. How dare anyone not trust that Judge is going to be okay? How dare you doubt the captain? Aaron Judge started off the year not looking like himself. We can all admit to that. He has not looked like himself to start this season. But the amount of people I have seen, we need to bench him. We need to do this. We need to send him down to the minors. Blah, blah, blah. It's getting fucking ridiculous. I get it. He's not performing, but he's our captain for a reason. It's the first 7 games of the year. Everyone needs to chill the fuck out. And he proved why today. He gets a pitch middle, and does not miss it. 2-run missile and doesn't stop there. He hits a double to extend the lead and ultimately get us the game-winning run. He is a big game hitter and will come through in big games. This is how this offense is going to work. When Judge is on, he's going to be able to piggyback off of some of the downfalls that Soto may have. When Soto's on, he's going to be able to pick up on the downfalls that Judge may have. That's the biggest part about that trade that Brian Cashman made, that he finally has a running mate that can pick him up while he's down. Juan Soto's that good. And when Juan Soto has these rare occasions where he's 0 for 5, Aaron Judge is right behind him. Aaron Judge can pick up that slack. This offense is so balanced now. The last person you should be doubting is Aaron fucking Judge. Does he still need to pick it up? Yes, he does. He's the captain. He's got to perform like it. But give him more than 6 games. It's been 2 series. It's getting ridiculous the amount of time people give someone like Judge. Judge has earned more of a leash. Anyways, off of that tangent, Alex Verdugo also got off of his slide. Amazing to see him jumping on a fastball early, getting that run, ultimately lead to the 11th inning. That happened in the 10th. This is the Verdugo we're waiting for. And you see how the dugout was so happy for him. This team right now is so cohesive. They are ride or die for all of them. Everyone is ride or die for each other. That's what you want out of a ball club if you're the New York Yankees. We're back to trying to become the evil empire. When you're the evil empire, it's us against the world. That team looks like it's us against the world. You see Marcus Stroman is the first person out of the dugout, no matter what. He's a starting pitcher. They're not usually the people who are the first person out of a dugout to congratulate a home run hitter. That's called having someone's back. Alex Verdugo looked good at the plate. We're going to hope that continues. Going to looking good at the plate, Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe, man. Anthony Volpe has looked like $1 million to start the year. And I know he also went 0 for 5 today. Bad timing on my end. Seriously, Anthony Volpe has looked like a true veteran. Even today, going 0 for 5 multiple times, he forced the count to 3-2. He was working the pitcher. He has seen one of the most pitches on the team throughout these first 7 games. He looks completely different than his rookie year. He finally looks comfortable. He finally looks like he knows what he's doing. It only took him 1 year to figure it out. He is going to be special. You see it. He had the power in Houston. He has the contact. He has the highest average on the team right now. He has one of the highest on base percentages on the team right now. He is doing everything right except defensively. Those throws got to be better. He has made a couple mistakes there. He's got to get a hold of that. Anthony Volpe is that guy right now. Pairing him up right now with a Soto and a Judge, the offense will look scary. And that leads me to my next point about Volpe should definitely be leading off. I know Gleyber Torres had a good day. I know Gleyber Torres is the more veteran hitter, who's probably the more well-rounded hitter in terms of contact and power. That works a lot better in the middle of the order. What Anthony Volpe is doing right now is leadoff material, doing anything he can to get on base. If we had Soto with more people on base, this team would be even nastier than it is right now. And we're 6-1 going through one of our toughest points in the schedule that we have all year. And we're 6-1. And this team could still be better if you made a couple lineup changes. Anthony Volpe being at that top of the order, his speed, contact ability, his stealing ability, that's all leadoff hitter material. He's basically a mini Ricky Henderson that plays shortstop. It's perfect. I don't know why they're so reluctant to give that up. I don't know if they're trying to just keep that seat warm for DJ whenever he gets back, so they're not letting Volpe try and win it. This team would be in a way better spot if you just flip Volpe and Torres in the lineup and let Volpe just wreak havoc at the top of the order. This team is on such a heater right now that it is tough to tell them, hey, make changes here, hey, make changes there. This is the type of change that can will us into a World Series. I'm being straight up. A guy like Volpe does not come around often. I'm just gonna say it right here. Volpe is that guy. He is a once in maybe a decade talent. We need to harness that talent. The best way to harness that talent is not having him in the middle of the order, where technically at some point in the middle of the year, if he stays in the middle of the order, we're going to be looking at him like, hey, you need to get your power numbers up if you're going to stay in the middle of the order. And we all talked about it this offseason. That is not when Volpe is at his best. He is not at his best trying to hit for power. He's at his best when he is trying to get on base, when he's not trying to do too much, when he finds a way to work walks, find a way to get on first by any means necessary. Because with that type of speed and that type of stealing ability, he can wreak havoc for any starting pitcher in baseball. He hasn't shown it yet, which is one of my concerns about him offensively. I don't know why he's not trying to bait pitchers. Maybe he's just trying to be more responsible about it. I'm not 100% sure. But last year he wreaked havoc by his jump lead and stealing on any chance he had. 2020 last year. This year's Volpe needs to be leading off. That's how to best harness that contact ability. That's the best way to harness this lineup, is giving Judge multiple people on base and someone who can actually fly. Get traffic onto the field. The best way to harness this lineup's true potential, and the best way to do that is putting Volpe in that leadoff position. But next, I'm going to talk about someone going into the opposite direction. What has happened to Giancarlo Stanton? I remember when that trade was made, and I was a kid in high school going absolutely crazy. Previous season's NL MVP in a trade for Starlin Castro and some minor league fodder for the National League MVP. We thought that this was going to be the two-headed monster that was going to lead us to multiple World Series. Both guys were going to hit 50 home runs in the same year. It was going to be a magical time. And then we came back to reality and we saw over 200 strikeouts every single season. It just hasn't looked good to start the year. And like I said about Judge, where Judge earned long leash of not really caring that he's struggling to come out the gates, it's the exact opposite for Stan. He has earned the shortest leash on the team. He's earned it because he has been absolutely terrible. Last year, he was absolutely terrible. We thought it would be an outlier, but so far this season, yes, he has that home run, and we could all be very happy that he started off the first series on the right foot, but he really looks lost in most at-bats to start this season. John Sterling brings it up on every single broadcast that he should just take every pitch that's on the outer part, because you know it's going to just go further outside. It's been 6 to 7 years. He has not adjusted to that outside slider at all. That outside breaking pitch has gotten him every single time, and not even just with 2 strikes where you could understand it. It's to start in at bat. He'll just wave through it because he thought it was going to be a fastball. I don't know how you don't adjust to it. It's been 7 years. You're a professional baseball player. I know hitting is hard, but when you're a professional, adjustments need to be made. Anthony Volpe is a prime example of it. He's made adjustments. He cut down the swing, and now he looks like $1,000,000. Stanton has tried to tinker with his stance a little bit. At times, you see him, and he does look like $1,000,000 for like a 2-week stretch. And you're like, wow, if only we can harness this and kind of bottle this up and keep this for an entire season, this offense would be unstoppable. And then you come back down to reality, and he's still making the same mistakes. He can't hit a fastball to save his life. And that's been a big problem for the past 2 years. And I know I'm very much overreacting to start the year. After a whole year last year of dealing with this, like I said earlier, he's earned this short leash. And when you cannot hit a fastball in the major leagues in 2024, you don't deserve to play. I don't know if I want Trent Grisham to be in that spot, but something has to change. Maybe even throw Oswaldo in left, give John Birdie the full-time third base spot, throw Verdugo in center, and Judge at DH full-time. Maybe that's the lineup. With Stanton, for the most part, it's a free out. And I love Stanton as a Yankee. He's the one who takes the accountability. He's the one who doesn't blame fans for booing when he sucks. It's gotten to a point where he's affecting the team. And no, it has not affected the record to this point. But last year, it definitely did. I don't want to get it to a point we're halfway through the season and we still have an automatic out. I'm really hoping he can turn this around and I could look back on this video and I could just laugh my ass off being like, damn, I really was that guy. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be the guy who just overreacts to start the season and says, oh, we need to bench him. We need to bench him all the way. It's like what we said about Judge. It hasn't just been this first week of games. It's been the last year. It's been the last 2 years at times. He's usually, throughout his career, not been this bad. It's getting bad when you're waving at pitches in the other batter's box consistently to the point where it's not even a surprise. Like earlier today, Gleyber Torres did that on one of his base hits. The first pitch of the at-bat, he swung at it in the other batter's box. And I was like, oh, damn, Gleyber, what the fuck was that? But when Stanton does it, you just kind of look at it like, damn, that's just Stanton. That's unacceptable. I'm assuming he's going to have until Jason Dominguez gets back. Because once Jason Dominguez gets back, you're going to still have Verdugo in left, Soto in right. You want those guys in the lineup. You're going to have Dominguez in center. You're going to have Judge at DH. Or at least that's how I would do it when Dominguez gets back and gets his footing under it. He came off of Tommy John. He's not going to be 100% right away. But once he gets his footing under him, Stanton has until then to prove he still deserves to have a spot on this team. Because if not, we have a World Series to win. Whether you're in this lineup or not, it's his call. Does he want to improve or not? Sorry to end this on a more somber note. Man, has this start been so magical. It's tough to find things to nitpick about. I kind of found everything you need to nitpick about in this video. One more thing is Carlos Rodon's performance today. Carlos Rodon's performance has been good to start the year. And today was even better than day one. His first start was not great in my opinion. I didn't like the velocity drop off. I didn't like he relied too much on his fastball. And that carried over into today. The 2 home runs he gave up were because he just relied on that fastball far too much. That home run he gave up to Ketel Marte. Marte was sitting on that up and in fastball the entire at bat. Rodon got him 0-2 and then threw a great slider that he just foul tipped. For some reason, that made Rodon forget about the slider. That made Rodon not trust it. Fastball, ball, fastball, ball, fastball, ball. And then finally, he throws the fastball up and in. And then 426 feet later, Ketel Marte has a home run. He's got to trust the slider in strikeout situations more. He's not getting away with it. And today, the velocity was still there inside the 5th and 6th inning. That's really good for a guy like Carlos Rodon. Last start, it was down at 93 in the 5th inning after 70-something pitches. He was getting up into the 80s and still had 97. That's huge. This is Major League Baseball. Everyone knows how to hit 97 if they know what's coming. Ketel Marte knew what was coming. I enjoyed this performance a lot because he did mix it a lot more in the last start. So hopefully he can piggyback off of this one and even improve more, because I know he's trying to incorporate new pitches and these new pitches are going to take time. But overall, great performance out of Carlos Rodon. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of him now. If he is back to 2022 Carlos Rodon, this team is scary, because 2022 Carlos Rodon is a real running mate with Garrett Cole. And then you add in what I was talking about in my last video, how Stroman's a dog that's able to keep the ball on the ground. And then Luis Gil, some of the most talent I have seen out of a pitcher. and one of the nastiest changeups I've seen in a decade. This team could be scary if Carlos Rodon is that good. Now I'll end it off. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. I'm going to start streaming on Twitch. It's a matter of time. When I start doing it, I want you to be a part of it. I have the link in the description. Go follow now, and I'll let you know when I start streaming. Take care, and peace.